There is real evil. It lurks in the darkest shadows in our most ordinary towns. Between the worlds we see and the things we fear, there are doors. When they are opened, nightmares become reality.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was a quick little intro, but hey, I like it.
I
This
like
is
that intro.
yeah, this is Terry and Irene with NSPS TV Paranormal Podcast Show. Saturday, man. It's September 5th, I believe so, or 6th. I get a little confused in the dates. Oh, it is September 6th. Time is flying by, guys. Before you know it, October, November, December, then we're on the birth of a new year. Can you believe this? Man, time is running. It waits for no one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the biggest question that I have, this is the biggest question of the day for all my guests. If you guys could control time, and I'm just going to throw this out here, would you slow it down or would you speed it up?
Oh, man. That's such an interesting question. That's a hard one because I can see you'd want to do both. I'd want to slow it down at some times and stuff. A pretty lady walks by, you want to slow time down real fast, you know. or you're about to get a parking ticket and you got to get your car out of there real fast. You speed up time.
There you go.
Dodge.
Yeah, that is the question of the day, guys. So, hey, for all you guys that are joining us tonight, you know what? I am officially back on all the social media outlets today. I know I've been down for a month or so, but I am officially back. So all you guys that are on Kick, Twitch, Rumble, YouTube, Facebook, my personal Facebook page, and my NSPS TV Paranormal Podcast page. Guys, welcome to the show. I know it's been a while since I reached out to you guys, but hey, you guys could have reached out to me on my podcast page, but now I'm back on all social medias. So hey,
Awesome.
Something bit me. There are mosquitoes in here. So welcome back, guys. Welcome to the show tonight. Hey, I am in California. You know what? Out of all the years I've been podcasting, dude, I only had 2 guests from California.
Wow.
2. And I'm going to try to figure out, me and Irene going to try to break this down to figure out what's going on over there. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, Mitch, introduce yourself, brother.
All right, my friends. Well, I am Mitch McLean, and I am the lead investigator for Solano Paranormal Research and Investigations team from Northern California. I am not from California naturally, as you can tell by the accent. I am from Scotland. I'm an implant into the USA, but I love it here. I love California. I love the paranormal. And we just, in the last couple of months, getting a team together, gathering all our equipment together, and really starting to do some serious investigating.
Okay. Well, you know what? You're in a great state to do so, man.
Yeah, for sure. We got some hot spots for sure in California.
You are definitely in I can say, man, I really don't know much about California paranormal. So I'm hoping that you would enlighten me and Irene and the audience on what's available out there when if I want to take a vacation, if I want to go hunt, and investigate, you can direct me to certain locations. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, absolutely.
I'm a little bit curious. So, but the first question is that I have for you, and trust me, and this is going to be one of many.
Yep.
One of many. You're from Scotland, right?
Yes, sir.
What made you move to California out of all the other states that you have access to?
What always makes a man move from one country to another country on the spur of a moment? A
A
woman.
woman.
A woman. You got it.
Yeah, a woman.
A woman, brother. I got myself a Californian girl. When I was living in Scotland, we met online, started chatting and stuff, and she came to visit me in Scotland, and a couple of months later, I came to visit her here in California, and that was all she wrote.
Wow. But this must be one hell of a woman for you to leave Scotland, travel across the Atlantic to settle down in one of the most interesting states.
That's a good word
California,
for
dude.
interesting.
Yeah, you never know what the hell you're gonna get in California.
No, you do not. You do not. It's one of those states. It's up one minute, down the next minute, and sideways the next. You don't know which way you're going.
Exactly. So how do you're from Scotland? How do Californians treat you over there?
Very well, actually. People really like the Scottish people. Everybody likes Scottish people and Irish people. The rule is you love the Scottish and the Irish, but you hate the English. Everybody just likes the English. So that's the golden rule. As long as you're not English, you're good.
Oh my God! What does the Scottish is that just a history thing?
Yeah, it's a historical thing between the Scots, the Irish, and the English.
Can we all just get along?
No.
No.
Oh my God! Hey, you know what? You put it to the point. I mean, you didn't think about it. You just said no.
No, not with the English, not the historical side of it. You can get friends with an English person, but the minute you start talking about the history side of it, then it ends up in arguments and stuff.
Yeah.
Dude, that sounds like a good bar fight to me. I mean, if somebody wants to bring it up.
But that's true because I belong to a lot of English and Scottish groups, right? And they're very they're diplomatic, they're kind, but they have they say quiet, in private. They go, "You don't like that guy, do you?" And I go, "Why?" And I go, "Come to Scotland. Don't go to England. They only use you." And I said, "Really?" He goes, "Yeah."
Oh, man. That is crazy. You know what? I don't know much about the history between the three, but it seems like it's interesting.
Watch Braveheart, man. Just watch Braveheart. That'll tell you everything you need to know about how much the Scottish hate the English.
Yeah, Braveheart. Yeah. But speaking of Braveheart, I'm glad you brought that up. And I asked a gentleman from another show about Braveheart and William Wallace. Do you think he really existed?
Oh, yes, he definitely existed. He historically existed. We know for a fact he existed.
And do you know what kind of man he was?
Well, the historical records paint a different story to what the movies like to portray about William Wallace. William Wallace, in reality, was a robber, he was not a moral man. He wasn't a very moral man at the time. In those centuries, it was a whole different ball game, and you did what you had to do to survive. And he had a kind of reputation, and that was why people were scared of him. when he took up the cause for Scottish independence. You know, so the historical records show that he was a bit of a scoundrel in reality.
Well, I don't know. Do you think the movie got it right?
No, the movie got a lot wrong. They did get some right, but a lot of the historical facts were fabricated for the movie. Like the example where there's a part of the movie where William Wallace falls off his horse and Robert the Bruce, the King of Scotland, or the future King of Scotland, comes to rescue him and rides off with him on the back of his horse. Now that is never reported in any historical documents or anything like that. So there's a lot of stuff like you would expect in a good movie. It
Robert the Bruce did stab him in the back, though. That was a low down, dirty move right there.
Yeah, that was historically correct. Robert the Bruce, you know, betrayed William Wallace for the sake of Scottish peace.
You know what I'm saying? And I thought, you know, the way the movie portrayed William Wallace is, I don't really think he cared about the English until they killed his wife.
Yeah, and again,
I think that what set it off for him.
That's what set it off in the movie. Again, we have nothing to prove that actually happened in reality. That was just another plot twist in a good movie. They needed something to describe why William Wallace all of a sudden went to war with the English and went onto this rampage and led a whole country to independence eventually.
You know, after his body was severed and was put over here, was put over there, are there historical markers logically where his body is?
Yes, there's markers in the four corners of the United Kingdom where his body parts were sent. His head was put on London Bridge, on a spike on London Bridge, for everyone to see, and the rest of his body was quartered and sent out to the four corners of the United Kingdom as a warning to everybody else.
I don't think that worked, did it?
It did not work. It had the opposite. It rallied Scotland.
That worked.
It rallied the Scottish tribes and clans together for the first time in a united cause against the English, and that was when we won our independence.
Yeah, man. You know, and you were born there. So did you start your paranormal investigating career when you were over there? Or did it start here in America?
It started here in the United States, actually. My interest has always been there in the paranormal. I've always had paranormal experiences since I was a young boy, deeply disturbing paranormal experiences, scary ones that terrified me. I learned how to eventually switch it off. And I closed myself up to the paranormal for many years. And when I moved to the United States, I rekindled the passion for it. And I'm on a journey to reawaken myself to the paranormal experience and allow myself to feel those feelings again. And now that I'm an adult, I'm more equipped to deal with the scary stuff. You know, as a child, you're so unequipped to deal with any kind of paranormal activity. As an adult, you can rationalize it better.
Yeah.
Interesting. Have you ever went back to Scotland and investigated any historical locations over there?
I have not been back to Scotland since I moved to the United States 13 years ago. I've been in the United States for 13 years. And for some reason, other than just having a lapsed passport, but other than that, I've never went back. I have family over there. I have children and grandchildren, but they come over here and visit me in California. You know, every year, or at least every second year, they jump on a plane, we help them, and they fly over here and come over here with the grandbabies and spend a couple of weeks over here with us.
Okay, all right, cool. You know, because I know, man, there are a lot of cool locations in Scotland that we can definitely go check out.
There's so many haunted locations in Scotland. You've got abandoned castles and buildings and old estates just all over the countryside.
Mhm.
And urban explorers that go out and find these places, they come back with some phenomenal stories of the paranormal.
How old is Scotland? I know it goes back 1500s. Does it go back a lot later than that?
Yeah, it goes back way, way earlier than that, but it wasn't known in Scotland in the early days. It was the Picts that ruled Scotland at one point, and the different clans eventually formed together, and it became Scotland over time. But I mean, for centuries, it was just a land of random clans.
Interesting. Because man, that would be an awesome trip, man, to go there and to just check out some of the locations and get a chance and get an opportunity to communicate with individuals that has so much history that surround them. And I'm pretty sure, dude, they can tell you a story.
Oh, for sure, man, for sure. I mean, that's the thing. The country, Scotland, is such an old country that it's steeped in tradition and mystery and paranormal stories. It's steeped in it. It oozes out every pore of Scottish blood, the paranormal stories and the history of the place. There's a very strong belief in the paranormal in Scotland. Very strong belief. They're very superstitious as well, just like the Irish are very superstitious people.
Mhm.
You know?
Mm. Well, you know what, man? Longer if they're open to to the paranormal community, I think that's a great thing. Because there's so much. There is really so much that people can see and do over there. I mean, that is a very historic country.
Yeah.
It holds a lot, and I think it holds a lot. I think it holds more dark than light. I mean, I'm because like you say, there's a lot of bad things that happen over
Oh
there.
man, yeah.
Like you say,
Oh.
clans fighting clans,
And it was
and it's a lot of death.
yeah, brutal death. Not like modern warfare where you're shooting someone and then they're dead. You know, brutal axes, swords, daggers, cutting people's arms and heads and legs off and stuff.
Man, yeah.
Yeah.
I could just imagine having somebody having an EVP, somebody saying I lost my arm. I wouldn't know what to say to that.
Yeah, right. That would be a cracking EVP.
Yeah, right. I wouldn't know what to say. But okay, let's switch over a little bit. Let's focus on California since that's where you're at.
All right.
What do you think about California?
Kind of get mixed feelings about California. I love California as a place to live, as a place for the weather, the climate, the beauty of it, the places that you can go on the West Coast, up and down the Pacific West Coast are just stunning. So those kind of things I really like about it. Don't necessarily like I don't want to go into politics or anything, but I don't generally like politics of it. It's a pretty messed up state when it comes to the political landscape. There's a lot of promises been broken. There's a lot of stuff needing done that doesn't get done. A lot of wildfires caused unnecessarily because they don't do proper forest clearing anymore.
Yeah, that's what I know about that too.
Yeah.
Because living in Canada, they always helped the people in America and helped them with the forest fires, and they don't have a controlled lit when there's too much timber on the ground. when they have a control lit, they burn all the bad stuff off and let the seeds come out,
Yeah,
and then they douse it out with water so it won't come back. So yeah, in America they just let it go
yeah, yeah,
and destroy everything, right? Yeah.
And I
yeah,
think,
absolutely.
yeah, and I think that's why, and it's weird because I think that's why California has so much forest fires.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's just as beautiful after it as it was before. If it's not more beautiful after the fires had settled and the grass and the trees is starting to regrow,
Yeah.
man, I think that's an amazing sight. Seeing
It
that,
is. It is. It's regeneration of the land, rebirth of the land. You're seeing it happen in real time because fires are a necessity when it comes
Yeah.
to forests. They
Yeah.
need fires to regenerate every
And
so often. But
it
the
chokes
problem,
it chokes itself, so it just like it dies either way or the other. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely right, Tony.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just one of those things.
Hmm. Yeah. Oh, by the way, Tony Ferguson is in the UK. He's also a paranormal investigator. He's really cool.
Oh, hi,
Yeah.
Tony. Good to see you on there, bro.
He's
Mr.
been on the
Ferguson.
show before.
Yeah, dude, tell me a little bit about your team. Tell me a little bit about some of these locations you've been to, and some of these locations everybody have their skeptical location. And I
Yeah.
know California has a whole bunch of skeptical, because one of my biggest skeptical locations is a lot of people talk about it. I think the Winchester House is a skeptical location, but I'm gonna let you decide, or tell if you've been there. Let you tell it, whether you think it's skeptical or not, or whether you think there's paranormal, or do you think the lady was just out of her mind when she built it?
I think there's been so much paranormal activity occurred in the Winchester Mystery House, over the decades, over the last century and a half, 2 centuries since it was been built or whatever. It's the living brought the paranormal into that house because they done seances. They back in
Ah,
those, they done seances and opened the spirit doorways. They opened the portals to the spirit world in that house.
Yeah.
And and they didn't know what they're doing. That's why I don't mess with things like Ouija boards, because you don't open portals that you don't know how to close, or you don't know what's coming through.
Yeah.
You know,
interesting, because that is a story a lot of people don't talk about. People don't say that they've done these things,
Yeah.
and it's and that says a lot,
Mhm.
yeah,
because I'm just thinking that the legend is that all the spirits that were killed by the Winchester rifle is haunting that location.
yeah,
I don't know if
supposedly.
that's true or not.
Now, to me, that seems a bit of a stretch of the imagination to think that people killed by the rifle itself would hold that kind of grudge against the family. It's more likely they're going to hold a grudge against the person that pulled the trigger,
Exactly.
than the family who made the gun itself. If you walk down the street and somebody holds you up, you're not going, "Damn that Glock maker," you know,
No.
you know, goddamn Glock makers. If it's their fault, I'm getting held up. No, it's the person. It's the person in front of you. It's called personal accountability.
There you
Plus,
go. Yeah, I totally agree with you on that. I totally
that
agree.
people who helped build that place died on the land when they were building it. So when they died, their spirit was locked in that building too. So just a lot of
Yeah,
interesting.
a lot of people died in the building of the Winchester Mystery House. People
Yeah.
died in the construction of it. There was all
Yeah.
sorts of accidents and stuff in
Yeah.
the construction and different things. So you can imagine there's definitely spirits there. There's definitely energy there.
Hmm.
Maybe it's. I think the question is more whether it's residual energy or intelligent hauntings, because
Hmm.
the stone tape theory could come into effect here, and with the Winchester Mystery House. It's such a large stone structure that it could be essentially be recording all those memories from over the years and years, and just in the right environmental circumstances, in the right time, in the right location, it replays some of those emotions, and you get to see it or witness it.
Yeah. One thing that I am super critical again, residual hauntings. Maybe because I've never experienced them before. I've always experienced intelligent hauntings, and I kind of don't know the difference. I know the difference between the two, but I've never experienced one.
Yeah.
I've yet to experience the residual haunting where allegedly something happens over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And I had a gentleman on the show last week, and Irene can contest to this. Is it possible, Mitch, that residual hauntings are just a reason to get one's attention?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I think I get your point. It could absolutely be a cry for attention. I don't know. I'm a big believer in the stone tape theory. I believe that buildings and structures can hold residual energy from things that had very strong emotional outcomes or emotional events. I believe those events are recorded into the fabric of those stone buildings. And it just, like a video player, it just takes the right circumstances and the right environmental conditions to be able to press play and for it to start playing back those memories and those emotions. And sometimes they're visual, sometimes they're auditory, or sometimes they're just very strong emotional feelings that you feel.
It's like you said, and that's where I'm a little confused at, because as much as people talk about residual hauntings, people always think that it's always negative. It's nothing. A residual haunting is never positive. It's always negative, because if something happens that's really bad and it forces itself to go, over and over and over and over and over again, I'm like, man, I don't know.
It's funny. It's funny you mention that, because you're right. When you talk about residual hauntings, most people report them as being negative. And you would think that if the stone tape theory is accurate, that positive energy would have just as much impact on the structure, the fabric of the building, and would be recorded also, and would be played back at certain times. And maybe people would see events of happy times, really emotional events, but happy events. And we don't get those reports. It's always the negative reports we get of those types of hauntings.
Yeah.
And to me, I see, it's valid. A lot of people this day and age, everything's always negative. The whole world is negative. There is not too much positive energy in the world anymore.
No, everybody's feeling disillusioned. I think we all feel disillusioned to some degree with some fabric of society right now. We feel that we're not going the right direction. We feel like, we're alienating people, rather than uniting people.
Yeah.
And I think we all feel that sense of, there's something going wrong with society right now, especially in the United States. It just seems the fabric of moral fabric of society is starting to just shrivel away, and there's no consequences anymore for nothing, and people just kind of do what they want.
You're absolutely right, man. And I think it would take a big surge of positive energy to bring us back to where we need to be.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I don't know who would bring that.
There's only there's I've often said that we need another close call like to humanity. We need like some asteroid to come close to hitting Earth where we all think we're going to die or something. We need a mass
Yeah.
event like that where we all think we're going to die.
Yeah. Um, the veil is really thin now. The parent the haunting veil is really thin now. So it's coming out in a most weird way. I feel that there's more hauntings now. There's more crazy stuff going on now. As the veil thinnens, I think it gets worse and worse as it is. And there's a lot of weird things going on, right?
Yeah,
You
no,
know,
for sure. I actually did a deep research on paranormal activity over the last 10 years. And
Hmm.
my goal was to try and discover, has paranormal activity increased in the United States over the past 10 years?
Oh
And
yeah.
what I found is there was a huge spike in paranormal activity during the COVID years.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
During the COVID years, there was a huge spike in paranormal activity. Now, you can explain that in various ways. Like, for example, people were at home more. People
Hmm.
weren't at work, they were staying at home. So they
Yeah.
were experiencing hauntings in their own home for the first time
Yeah.
because maybe they didn't spend that much time at home. And when they were home, they would come home, have some dinner, go to bed, go to sleep, get up, go to work.
Yeah.
All of a
And
sudden, during COVID,
it,
they're in their house 24 hours a day and they're experiencing all these things. And the reports of paranormal activity just skyrocketed.
yeah. It got bad right when COVID happened, right? And everyone was spending more time at home than outside. So they find a lot more weird things going on in their bedroom or in their bathroom or anywhere else, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where I've seen it the most, and the most help goes help me. I got something in my house. I go, "Oh, really, like yeah,
you
but
know, and what's so crazy about this whole when COVID hit, we were at our busiest. I mean, we were at our busiest time
Yeah.
because we actually had access to me the world because everything was shut down.
mm-hmm,
Man, I had access to uh, businesses that
mm-hmm,
that help paranormal
mm-hmm,
activity. I mean, there was so much out
yeah,
there that we can do. I didn't let I did not let that stop me from investigating. And like you said, there was a big spike
mm-hmm,
when that
Yeah.
was going on. I
yeah,
mean, the spike because we
Yeah.
were busy every weekend.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Exactly. Yeah. For some reason, just the fact that everybody was doing different things, everybody was paying attention for a minute
yeah,
during COVID. Everybody was actually paying attention
yeah,
to their environment and to their surroundings because
yeah,
they didn't have the distractions of going to work
mm,
or, getting out. Their routine was broken.
yeah,
So they were aware of all this fresh energy and all these new energies in their environment. And the
mm-hmm,
skyrocketing reports just illustrate that.
yeah. And then a lot of people died during COVID too. So right.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And yeah, it was one of those times when if you're a paranormal investigator, you were busy. You were busy, right?
Yeah.
It was one of those weird times, and I remember that I didn't even have a time off because of that. Like I said, okay, I'll pencil again. Just close the door. Don't go in there and just leave it alone and pretend you're doing whatever you're gonna do and until I can come around and help you. Yeah, it was like I had a huge schedule. I had to pencil. It was one of those days, man, and I was so exhausted. Can I help you? Like,
It was pretty wild at that
it,
point.
it was real crazy. Yeah.
But as time goes on, you know what? And that was a period of time where I think people needed to take a breath and realize what's going on around them.
Yeah.
Because everybody was so busy. I mean, they're coming and they're going, or they're going and coming. Nobody actually took a time and just take a deep breath and look around and see what's going on around them.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I mean, I guarantee that everybody every day sees ghosts walking down the street. You just don't recognize them as ghosts because you're not paying attention. You're so absorbed by the rat race. Yeah. Most people are not. Most people are absorbed by the rat race, going to work, getting to work on time, going and getting their coffee, getting their lunch, meeting a friend. They're focused on things. They're not paying attention to what they're seeing. They see someone walk down the side of the road behind them. They just think it's a person. But to me, spirits are everywhere. And they appear to us everywhere all the time. We just don't recognize them as such.
Yeah. Unless you live in a real haunted country like me, then you see like you don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to pay anything. Oh, there's one over there. There's one over there. Oh, there's one over there.
Yeah. Japan is a rich culture of paranormal activity and experience.
I live in Tokyo. It's really bad here. Like, you don't have to go far to see anything that goes in the night.
You have a
legend during the day, and they don't care what time it is.
You guys actually have a legend where you'll have a lady hitchhiker and tunnel entrances who bows.
Yeah. There's a lot of that going around.
Yeah.
And you can go there during the day. You don't have to go there at night. You'll see it. Right.
Oh, wow.
No, they come up any time of the day.
So interesting.
Yes, Tokyo's a very interesting place to investigate. California, dude, so many urban legends, whether people believe them or not. Have you investigated any of the urban legends that are allegedly happened in California?
I have not investigated anything like urban legends or cryptids or anything like that. Our focus as a team since we got together has solely been on spirit hunting and gathering evidence to prove the existence of an afterlife. Our goal is primary goal of the team has always been from day one to help people.
How does what's the name of the town you live in?
I live in a little town called Suisun City. It means West Wind and Native American.
Okay. Oh, I know that area.
And how do they no, I'm taking it back. What did they think about you guys?
We've had a great response, an absolutely fantastic response since we launched the Paranormal Group and we started advertising in our local community. We built a team very quickly. We've got some great new investigators that have signed up and came on board. We've got social media managers coming on board to take over our social media stuff. We're starting to expand. We've only been together maybe 3 months as a team. So we're very new as a team. But we've got a handful of investigations under our belt that we've done so far. We've gathered some good evidence, especially on the XLS camera. We've gathered some very interesting hits at some locations. Some interesting EVPs and hits on the Ovulus device and the portal cast and stuff. Yeah. So we've got a whole range of equipment that we get and that we use. And our approach is more of a scientific one. We don't approach it with our feelings. I don't want our investigators talking about how they feel during an investigation that often. I don't want to hear, well, I'm feeling cold. Oh, I feel a cold spot. Oh, I feel this or I want scientific stuff. I want stuff that if they say I feel a cold spot, we can go with a millimeter and check that cold spot and make sure it actually is a cold spot, or is it just the imagination of the participant? You know, so I like to be very, very scientific about it. I believe that's the best approach to paranormal research, because you're easily debunked if you gather evidence and you're not using scientific methodologies.
Yeah, okay. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that, man.
No.
You're smack down in California, dude, and California has had a tendency to screw everything up. And California, I think, is the birthplace of TV shows, especially a lot of paranormal shows.
Yeah.
That have come out of California, Ghost Hunters and so many others. Did you watch TV shows like that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've always watched the paranormal TV shows and stuff and had a deep interest in watching them. They're great entertainment, but they're exactly the opposite of what I want to be as an investigator.
There you go. So is it possible? Is it possible? And this is just me, because I think that they get every aspect of our lives totally wrong.
Yeah.
Every aspect of our investigations totally wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know any TV show that actually got it right.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
There would be no entertainment there if TV shows actually done a proper investigation. Most of their episodes would have nothing in it, because most time when you do an investigation, paranormal activity doesn't happen. You've got to be in the right place at the right time and have a whole bunch of luck on your side to witness paranormal activity.
Yeah.
You know,
you'd be going all the time because it doesn't, nothing goes boom right in front of your face. Oh, there it is. That's Mr. Soul Ghost. And you're like, oh, okay. Yeah.
No, exactly. It doesn't work like that in reality. No. I mean, the TV shows dramatize all. They're all about how they're feeling emotionally. Oh, I'm getting all tingly, and the hyper dramatize it all.
That run, like, oh, really? Okay.
Speaking of locations, one of the most famous hauntings allegedly in California is the allegedly Hollywood
the
billboard ghost.
Yeah, the Hollywood thing. Yeah, I've heard the story of it. Again, I don't see why it wouldn't be. I mean, the story goes that a young socialite climbed to the top of the Hollywood sign and threw herself off, and she's seen near the sign and stuff like that by many people. So I'm a great believer in repetition. If the same people are saying seeing the same thing at different times over the years, then there has to be some sort of validity to it.
Yeah.
How else do you explain different people seeing the same thing over different years when those people have no connection to each other?
None whatsoever. And they also had allegedly the Suicide Bridge in Northern California, where somehow some people just have a tendency to want to just walk on the bridge and just throw themselves off of it.
Yeah, we in the Bay Area, we've got a lot of bridges, and there's a lot of people commit suicide off of these bridges up here. There's always stories about people throwing themselves off one of the bridges or another. Yeah.
It's crazy. So there is so much potential of a haunting just driving across the bridge or walking down a trail. It's crazy. Have you guys been to Alcatraz? If so, what do you think about that?
All right, so here's where it gets interesting. I was actually the head security officer for Alcatraz Island for a couple of years. I worked for a private security company in San Francisco who had the federal contract to operate on Alcatraz Island. And what would happen is the park rangers would be there through the day, and they'd deal with all the tourists. But then, like at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, at certain months of the year, everybody would be off the island, and I would literally be the only person on Alcatraz Island from 3 o'clock in the afternoon until 9 o'clock the following morning.
Gee whiz.
So I had the run of Alcatraz. I know every inch of Alcatraz Island. I know the secret tunnels underneath the prison cells.
Mm-hmm.
I know every inch. I could walk around that island blindfolded. Do I think it's haunted? No.
Oh, interesting.
I spent so much time on that island. There was only one thing that ever happened to me, and that was when I was walking by a bench, a workshop, and there was a little radio on the bench outside the workshop on the island. And as I walked by, the radio turned on. And I didn't make too much of it at the time. I went over and checked it around, shone my flashlight around, nothing there, turned the radio off again, and went around doing my patrol. But I went into Al Capone's cell on Alcatraz one night. I was working there. I walked up the cell block and I actually went into Al Capone's old cell. And I was sitting there and I was like, you ain't nothing, Al Capone. I could take you. You ain't no badass. You know, kind of trying to taunt him and see if he would come out and pay me a visit. But I never felt nothing. The whole time I was on Alcatraz Island, all times of the night and early hours in the morning, I never felt uneasy. I never felt presences. And the reason is, and a lot of people mix it up, is because there was never any executions on Alcatraz. Alcatraz was not an execution prison.
No.
So
there wasn't that much death surrounding Alcatraz.
Wow. You know what? I did not look at it like that, but you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You had a couple of prisoners try to escape and died over the years. But other than that, it wasn't that type of prison. It was a maximum security prison. But it was a whole community. That island had the prison guards and their families living on the island at the same time as they were working there. You know, it was like a whole little town, a little village that they all lived in and worked together on. And you know, it's a beautiful island. It's a beautiful place to be on. Some amazing views, but no, I do not believe it's on it.
Oh wow, that is very interesting. Very interesting. Now I know you guys are on the West Coast, so there is no, there is no. What do you call it? Well, I can't think of the name of it. What? I can't think of the name of it. Oh, dude, I'm so sorry. I can't think of the name. But let's talk about the religious aspect of the paranormal. Do you run across anybody in that criticizes you and what you're doing in the paranormal community?
No, actually not. We've only had really one small encounter with any kind of religious organization, and it was positive. They actually referred a client to us. A client had went to her local minister and had told them that she was having paranormal activity in her home and she was worried and didn't feel safe, and the minister or parish priest or whatever it was actually advised the lady to seek out a paranormal group in her community, because they would be the best ones to help at first as a first step. So we done that. She reached out to us and we done an investigation. It was such a sad investigation because the lady was experiencing trickster poltergeist type activity in her house, where it would only happen when she was around. As soon as anybody else was present, the activity would stop, which made it a very frustrating investigation. We did get some good hits on the XLS camera and stuff, but what made the investigation so sad was the lady's wife died. The lady's husband died the morning of the investigation.
Oh no.
He was very sick, and it was not unexpected, but we didn't expect it to happen the day of the investigation. And I gave her every opportunity to back out and said, you know, I understand if, you know, we need to postpone this and we can do it any other time you want. We don't need to do it tonight now. And she was adamant. She's like, no, I want you guys to come. I want you guys to do your investigation because I need to have answers. You know?
Interesting. What did you guys find out on that investigation? What was your outcome at the end of all of that?
So we concluded there was definitely paranormal activity in the house. It is something that affects electrical devices. We had major power drains of several of our devices that night during the investigation. We lost batteries from EVP devices. We lost batteries from camcorders. We lost batteries from the Ovilus that just drained for no reason. And I replace all the batteries before every new investigation. So they're always fresh batteries and not all were gear. So we had a lot of battery drainage and stuff. We got some good hits on the XLS camera, like I mentioned before. And we had REM pods set up around the house and made a couple of good hits on the REM pods where we were all in completely different rooms and the REM pods started going crazy.
Oh, wow. Man, California, let's talk a little bit about Mother Nature in California. Because Mother Nature, I think, has a big role in the paranormal community. Would you guys agree or disagree?
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. 100% agree.
So with that being said, it's weird because you guys are on that major fault line. You guys are sitting right there on that fault line.
Yeah.
And no telling what kind of responses you might get if there's a location actually sitting on that fault line.
You're right.
Like I say, I've never experienced anything like that before. And certain people can feel certain things, and it's weird how nature can play a big role in the paranormal communities, especially something that big, because we don't have fault lines here in Texas. I don't know how that feels.
Well, let me tell you, we got an upcoming investigation that we're planning on a place called the Salton Sea, and it's a lake, and it's directly over the San Andreas Fault.
Oh dear.
Directly over the San Andreas Fault in Southern California, down by Coachella, where they have the big music festival. They have the Coachella Music Festival every year. It's just slightly south of that in California, down in Southern California. Now, the Salton Sea, like I said, is sitting on top of the San Andreas Fault. So all those gases and stuff, when they stopped, because initially they used to pump fresh water into the Salton Sea every season to keep the lake alive. But in the early 70s, they abandoned the Salton Sea. And very quickly, the sea died. The lake died because all the gases and toxins were coming up from the San Andreas Fault, and they killed all the fish. So you drive by the Salton Sea now, and it just stinks of dead fish. But it's abandoned. It's a ghost town now. It used to be a thriving lake community. And in the 70s, almost overnight, literally, they abandoned the whole town because it became so environmentally polluted that it became uninhabitable. And everybody just moved out. And there's even old cars still left in driveways that are falling apart from the 70s that were left behind. Old structures falling behind. So we're planning an investigation down there in the upcoming months.
Okay. Are you guys focused just on your community, or do you guys would like to venture out to the surrounding states if possible.
Oh yeah, we love the idea of doing that. We don't only investigate California. Our area is the whole of California and the Pacific Northwest. So Oregon, Washington, California. If we get a request from someone to come do a serious investigation, we're on it. If you're in the Pacific Northwest, we're on it. Even Nevada, starting to move eastward a little bit, going into Nevada. We have an investigation booked for next year for Nevada State Prison.
Oh, wow.
That's going to be a very exciting one because a lot of the ghost shows have done Nevada State Prison before. And there was a lot of executions in that prison. And a lot of terror, a lot of emotional trauma. So anybody that I've seen working Nevada State Prison as an investigation have always got good results. So I'm looking forward to that one for sure.
Why do you
careful.
Yeah. Why do you think, Mitch, a lot of people go to a lot of locations and they don't get anything?
Yeah.
We know that the location has a haunted history, but why do you think certain people go to certain locations and not just get anything?
I think it depends on the person. It depends on so many things. Number one, environmental factors. The ghosts, and ghosts don't just wait around for paranormal investigators to turn up to talk to them. Ghosts maybe have their own schedule. They maybe have their own things to do. So it's kind of ridiculous to think that ghosts are just kind of hanging around the one place in a 1-bedroom corner the whole time.
Yeah, so why do paranormals think that? Why do paranormal investigators think that? Why do they think that spirits are just gonna sit there and just wait on people just to come?
Because they get taken away by the TV shows. They get a lot of paranormal groups base themselves off of or try to emulate the TV shows they watch, and they approach their investigation completely differently. It's and they're always going to get hits because they're always in that mindset that there's going to be paranormal activity. You can't you've got to be open to it, but you can't be expecting it. You've got to be there at the right place at the right time to experience paranormal activity. You can't will it to happen to you.
Yeah, or like me and Irene always talk is how you present yourself.
Yeah,
absolutely. That's another way. Do you present yourself aggressively towards the spirits? When you enter the property, did you ask the spirits permission before you entered its space?
Yeah.
Did you give it the respect?
Yeah.
Like you're going into their place, their home, and you can't say, okay, come and talk to me. Like, what's your name? How old are you? Like, how'd you die? Like,
exactly. The person's going to be like, who are you and why are you in my house?
Yeah, this dude, is kind of like we're not going to respond. Like, nope.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly. If you approach a building with respect and the dead inhabitants with respect, dignity, and talk to them that way, and talk to them like they're a person.
Yeah,
talk to them like they are a living person.
And don't forget, your energy makes all the difference. Is how you're going to go in there with baggage on your shoulders when you go in there, and are you going to go in there with a clear head? Like,
that's important to do. Maybe meditation.
And the thing about society today is, and I think you guys would agree with me on this. Most of the people, the new paranormal investigators that are coming out, they don't go into a location with a clear head.
No,
right.
They don't have respect. If they don't have respect for their parents, how are they going to have respect for others?
Yeah,
that are long gone.
Yeah, exactly.
And to me, as a paranormal community, that's our biggest downfall.
Yeah.
We need to get serious. We need to get away from watching and believing in what we see on the TV shows. Take them for what they are, entertainment factor. They're entertainment, nothing more.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee you, it's funny how every investigation they go to, they always get hit. They're always getting hits. You know, no matter where they go to investigate, oh yes, this place is haunted. We've got all this evidence and we've collected EVP. It's funny how wherever they go. Yet when I do an investigation and I'll go to some places, we just done an investigation on Thursday night at a local comic book store here in Old Town Sassoon City. And we on the walkthrough on the night before, we got more hits than we actually got during the investigation. The investigation went really quiet, and we didn't get anything that we could conclude was paranormal at all. That's the more likely outcome of paranormal investigations.
Yeah.
The paranormal investigation where you get a majority, where you get a lot of evidence, are very rare.
Yeah, and it always go back to what you bring to the table. What are you presenting yourself as?
Yeah.
If you're presenting yourself as a jackass, it's a good chance you're not gonna get the response that you need. If you're presenting yourself as a laid back individual that comes just, have a basic conversation and, you want to communicate, you might get that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But all of it, and I tell people all the time, when you're dealing with someone with the knowledge of these individuals that are long gone have, you have to think ahead of them because they know already. They know what you're there for. They know the minute you walk into the door, a location, they know that you're there.
Yep.
And
you know what I'm
got to
saying?
be careful.
So,
you can't taunt them because they can come up and they can bite your butt.
Well, yeah. The last thing you want is an attachment. The last thing you want is a spirit attaching itself to you and leaving with you and going home with you, and then all of a sudden you've got paranormal activity in your own home.
Yeah.
But if you got, and I've talked to Irene all the time about this. If you got 30 million paranormal investigators not thinking the same way, you're going to get the same result.
Yeah.
If you got one out of the whole box that's thinking outside of that box, those are the ones. That is the one is going to get the evidence.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is evidence is great, but it's very subjective in the paranormal world. That's why it's important that we document everything that we do. We timestamp everything we do. We document everything we do. We use as many scientific pieces of equipment and technology as we can to prove what we see and feel and hear or see.
Yes.
Because without those validators, it's all just hearsay.
Yep, I believe
I'm the opposite. I don't document. I don't validate. I don't do anything. I'm a touchy-feely person. Okay.
See, but Irene, whether you always document things. You always, you do, because it's kept here. It's kept here. Don't see, one thing about people is people never say that they don't document, but it's always documented right here. Right. Everything that you've ever done is documented here.
That's true. That's true.
It's here. And a lot of people just think they don't take that for granted. They don't, they think documenting is writing it down. Nuh-uh.
No. Yeah.
Knowledge.
I don't use equipment.
Yeah.
I just know when something's there. You get that really hinky feeling.
Hey, you are a living, breathing REM pod, just like everybody else is.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anybody that's touchy, feely, or really gifted, all they are is a giant REM pod.
That's true.
Absolutely. And to me,
I wish I had that. And I always tell Irene, anytime you want to go on vacation, just give me your gift.
Well, I can't pass it to you. I can't pass it to you.
All right, well, mail it to me then if you can't pass it to me.
Nah, this gift comes with grave responsibility, and yeah, my shoulders are so heavy as it is. You wouldn't want it. You won't want that.
You
That
know
heavy.
what? Sometimes brave responsibilities are put on to those that can handle it.
Ugh. Ugh. Sometimes I wish you
And
didn't have it. I hate it.
hey, whoa, hey, I'll take it.
Yeah, I don't think I could.
Because the knowledge that you hold, I would love to bear that. The knowledge that you have, I would love to have that put here.
Even the stuff you can't reveal to other people.
No, I wouldn't say that.
That's
Because
what I
we
heard.
all know knowledge is key to the universe.
Absolutely. Knowledge is everything.
Knowledge is everything. And that's why you always get mad at me when I stick my finger in the light socket. But if I don't stick, here's the question. Here's the big thing, guys. If you don't stick your finger, if you don't ask the questions, then what is the point?
Yeah.
What is the point? You have to stick your finger in the light socket in order to get the questions, to answer the questions that you've always wanted to know.
But you know I can't tell you.
Yeah, I know, but I can't help but try.
Yeah, it ain't gonna come out of this mouth.
I can't help but try. I mean, because questions. See, that's the thing. We talked about this on a past podcast. People are stopped asking the question why.
Yeah.
If you, what happens if everybody in the world just stopped asking why?
Right.
Yeah.
We'd be stagnant as a human race. We'd be stuck. We need people to ask why. We need the thinkers, the askers, the questioners.
Yeah. And as kids, what is the one big words that what is the one big word we use more?
Why?
As a kid, why?
Yeah.
Because they need that knowledge.
Yeah.
Because knowledge is key to everything.
Yeah.
Knowledge tells you what to do and what not to do. Knowledge fills you up with everything.
Yeah. It's funny. My mother used to call me a why baby. She said when I was younger, I would see men digging up the side of the road, and I'd stop and I'd ask them why they were digging the road up and why they were digging there and why they had to dig down so deep and why they had to use those specific tools. And I'd be always why.
Yeah.
And sometimes there might be questions that us as parents and our kids ask us why we don't know the answer to.
Absolutely.
No.
We don't know the answer to. And I'm like, oh, dude, I wish I can answer that for you, son, because I don't know.
And that's
but
the
it's
big
good.
thing.
It's good that you asked that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the minute we stop asking is the day that everything comes to an end. The governments will have total control on whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
The church would have control of whatever they do. Well, I think the church is in control of the government now, but that's just me. We can talk politics all day long, but the church has a lot to say in everything in everyday lives, whether people believe it or not.
Yeah.
So that word why, the guys, we have to start saying that.
Absolutely.
Not, you're gonna lose your freedoms. You're gonna lose it all.
Yeah. That's true.
Mitch, you're in California, dude. And the thing I've noticed about California is there's a lot of weird things going on. are you open to expanding your ideas as a paranormal team? Or you just want to keep it investigating the unknown?
We're always willing to experience new ideas and new things. We're open to anything within the paranormal realm. You know, we're really open up to anything. We
But
don't want to box ourselves in.
because I would love to go to Catalina Island and see what the hell is going on over there.
No, Catalina Island, yeah.
Yep. You know, the government, you're not allowed to go to that island. Why? Why are you not allowed to go there? Something's weird is going on over there, dude.
Oh, for sure. There's places like that all around the world where there's small islands that are secretly used by the military, and you can't get anywhere near them, and you
can't get anywhere near it.
What's going on.
You know, I mean, it's not going to vanish off the map, dude. I mean, that island is too big to just disappear. You know, somebody's going to get on it eventually and see what the hell is going on.
You got a lot of UFO activity too in California too. So yeah, there's a lot of crazy UFO activities too in California.
Oh, for sure.
So you got this and that and everything else right on top of it.
Oh yeah, and then we'll get Bigfoot all over the country as well. So we've got cryptids, we've got UFOs, and we've got lots and lots of hauntings.
You know, it's weird because I don't talk. California people really don't talk a lot about cryptids over there.
No.
Are there any known cryptids that I don't know about you want to share with us?
Not really, not that I know about either, to be honest. But maybe that's because I'm not a native to California, that I'm just not aware of maybe some of the cultural beliefs. All I really know about is Bigfoot, you know, and I know that Bigfoot is huge on the West Coast, whether you're in California, Oregon, or Washington. The Bigfoot phenomena is everywhere you go because there's so many forests and so many hundreds of thousands of square miles of uninhabited forest, uncharted forest.
Seattle, Washington is one big place for Bigfoot. They have a lot of spirits in the woods too, and they have a lot of Bigfoot activity in Washington State.
Yeah, there's a lot going. California has a lot going on, man, and I don't know if a lot of people are, you know what, and I'm going to put it like this: I don't think the average Californian, if that's what they're called, are really paying attention to what's going on around them.
No, absolutely correct.
Because California, we all know, it's a very fast state. You're going left to right, right to left, up and down in a matter of a couple of minutes. And, and people don't take time to look around and see what's up in the sky or what's going on in front of them.
Yeah.
No, you're right. It's such a fast-paced life in California that people just don't notice the stuff going on around them. Half the time, they're not aware of it. It's very much there. California is one of the states in America that has the highest concentration of UFO sightings, cryptid sightings like Bigfoots, and things like hauntings. California is a huge state for all of those three things. Yet people don't report it in nearly the amount of, in the way they should.
Yeah. You would think that with social media the way that it is, hell, they post, their babies walking for the first time. They post so much, but they can't post. And I'm not saying a baby walking for the first time is not significant, because it is. That's a point in life when the baby is growing. But dude, looking up from that sky and seeing a black something that you've never seen before, that right there can be groundbreaking.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? and that's one of those. Yeah, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What is it?
Yeah.
You know, Mitch, there's a lot of things that are, uh, you know, in California.
Oh.
And you shocked me with Alcatraz. Now, let's talk about the Queen Mary. Have
Okay.
you been there?
Have not. It's on my bucket list. We definitely want to go down to the Queen Mary and do an investigation down there. I'm going to have to do some research on how we get access. It's probably very much like Nevada State Prison is. It's run by a private firm who arrange the ghost tours and stuff and the ghost hunting side of it. So I'm going to have to try and get some information on it, but that would be a great one to investigate. I truly believe the Queen Mary has the potential to be haunted big time.
Yeah,
Mm.
especially if you stay the night. If you can stay the night, it'll be really interesting because you can get a
Oh,
lot
man.
during the middle of the night, right?
Yeah. Yeah. There's been so many tragedies on the Queen Mary.
Yeah.
So much death surrounding it that it absolutely could be haunted. Again, a lot of it, to my mind, is going to end up to be residual haunting,
Yeah.
emotions and repeats of events.
Yeah.
If you're lucky, you'll get an intelligent haunting.
Exactly.
Interesting. Uh, you know, people don't talk about, like in the South, people talk about cemeteries and haunted cemeteries, but again, we don't really know much about haunted cemeteries in California.
Right?
Because a lot of people don't talk about them.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
Cemeteries are such a solitary place. I think people, number one, don't want to intrude. I've went and done investigations in a couple of cemeteries here before when I was getting my equipment together and stuff, before we were fully set up the team. I went and done a couple of solo investigations at some cemeteries in my local county and got some decent responses and stuff, some good stuff, but nothing solid. But I think people, I don't know, are a little more respectful of places like cemeteries, and they don't like talking about the fact that they've been there and done investigations because they don't want people saying, well, you maybe, talking bad about it like you probably shouldn't. And it's the old cliche, it's the cemetery, it's the dead center of town. It's like, do you really think that ghosts are going to hang around where they're buried? Or are they going to more likely going to be around their loved ones or their old property?
Yeah, I
You
mean,
know,
that's a conversation that I've had many a times.
Uh-huh.
Do spirits, come back to haunt their burial site?
yeah,
And and me and Irene have been to a situation where, yes, we've actually had that happen before, and we have to settle that case.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
there's an opportunity for people to haunt their own locations for either some people are just angry and they don't know what to do. They're confused. So, they feel more comfortable being around their bodies because not only is their bodies there, they also got family there. So they might feel comfortable being around their family. I mean, of course, they can be around their family in the afterlife, but, spirits sometimes get a little confused on certain things, and just like everybody else.
yeah.
But I think cemeteries are a cool place.
Oh, absolutely. 100% agree. I love cemeteries. I love investigating them. But a lot of cemeteries, I don't know about anywhere else in the country, but in California, where we are right now, they're starting to realize that the paranormal thing is really taking off. And what they're doing is they're starting to fence off the cemeteries.
Oh,
they're starting to actually fence them off so you cannot get access to them after a certain time in the evening.
Well, see, the good thing about what we do is it don't have to be nighttime. You know, it can be during the day. You'll definitely catch something.
Yeah.
If it's an active location. You know, it's just that at night intensifies the fear factor that you have.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Things that go bump in the night.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's more psychological than anything to do with the haunting itself. Because, like you said, if a place is haunted, it's haunted day or night. It's more. There's several reasons why we do investigations at night. Things like you just mentioned. Then there's the noise factor. There's less noise pollution. There's less light pollution. Stuff like that all comes into to factor into why we do investigations at night. It heightens the sense of awareness. Because at night time in the dark, we perceive the world in a whole different way.
Yeah.
We're seeing things in a whole different light. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. California has some of the biggest mausoleums I've ever seen.
Yeah, I'm sure it does.
And the mausoleums here in Texas, here in Austin, where I live at, are nothing compared to the ones I've seen on social media in California. And they have some of the most famous individuals living there. Yeah. You know, have you came across anybody that's relatively famous that reached out to you from the great beyond?
No, I haven't. Let me think. No, I don't think I've ever personally made contact with anybody I would regard as famous or well known, but I've never really tried, to be fair. To be honest, I've never really been down that route of trying to do seances or Ouija boards or go to a haunted location where a famous person was associated with it. That opportunity just hasn't arisen yet.
Yeah, because there's one investigator that went to the front gate, and I know BS when I see it. And he went to the front gate of Michael Jackson's house, Never Neverland, and actually did a front gate investigation.
Oh, wow.
And before he got ran off by security,
yep.
I don't know to believe him or not. I mean, something telling me it's BS. I mean, he probably just did it just to get his ratings up or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's the level that people will go to get certain views and likes and clicks and all that stuff.
Unfortunately, Terry, sometimes that's the way people are. And, they're all about the clicks and the likes and stuff, and they'll do anything to achieve those clicks and likes. And, that's what they're all about. It's all about their social media. It's not about the love of the paranormal or the love of investigating. It's all about clickbait for them. They just want high ratings. They want dramatic stuff that they can over dramatize, throw on social media and say, look what we found. And that's why I say the TV shows are really fun to watch. But if you want to learn anything about the paranormal, they're not the place to go.
No.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Tell me a little bit about your team, man. Is it hard getting members to join your organization? Are you looking for specific individuals when you hold your interviews with these guys? So what are you looking for when you hold interviews with people that want to join your organization?
So basically, I don't mind if you're a non-believer, as long as you're open-minded, as long as you're not closed down to the possibility of paranormal existence. You know, as long as you're open to it, then I believe that you can have a place on a paranormal team. A paranormal team should be made up of a variety of different personalities. It shouldn't be made up of all just believers, 100% unbelievers, because then all you're going to do is just keep validating each other's experience, whether it's real or not.
Yeah.
What you need is the skeptics in there as well. You need someone who's a little skeptical in there in your team to counterbalance those who are all excited about getting paranormal activity. You need someone with a scientific mind who's going to challenge your findings and say to you, okay, how can we validate those findings?
Yeah.
You say you've seen this. Did the camera pick it up?
Yeah.
Did a shadow meter pick up the shadow of what you've seen? You know, like a laser grid. Did a laser grid pick up a shadow that can validate what you said about seeing someone in a specific location? To me, that's what it's all about. It's combining both the emotional experience with the scientific, using one to validate the other. And that's our approach as a team. Now, we've got a good team together, and right now we're looking for, we've got a couple of spiritualists in the team who are very, very sensitive to this stuff. It's funny because when I use the equipment, it doesn't want to talk to me ever.
No.
But if I hand the equipment off to one of the sensitives in the team, all of a sudden the equipment comes alive and it starts talking and stuff and giving us messages.
Yeah.
And we start getting hits. It's so funny. It's so funny. You can tell when someone's are true sensitive because you hand them some of this paranormal equipment and it comes to life.
Yes. And you know, and I truly believe that, and I truly believe that my biggest paranormal equipment that I can ever have is what I was born with.
Yeah.
You know, seeing, hearing, allowing myself to be touched.
Yeah.
You know, and just, you know, using my body as a giant REM pod. If you want to go that route, because a lot of people don't use themselves like that. I mean, people are out here spending a lot of money on equipment when you got the biggest equipment that you can ever have is something that you were born with.
Yeah.
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 You know, and I tell people all the time, dude, you don't need to go out and buy $300 worth of REM pods and $800 worth of cameras and, you know, all this and all that. Use what you was God given with and go into a location and just figure it out. You would know the difference, the way your body feels, you know, when you feel something or when you see something. The whole deja vu effect plays a lot into paranormal investigating. You know, people don't understand. You got this camera in your hand and you're doing this. But when you hear something, what is the first thing that moved? Is it the camera or your head?
Right.
Your head.
Yes, your head.
It's your head. So you're not going to get as much evidence that you think on this camera as you do with your own eyes.
Yeah.
Because the way our bodies are set up is to acknowledge every little thing that we don't understand or something that we don't see or that we don't hear. Our body is normally able to react to it. You know, so the minute, how many times have I been in a location and I hear a bump, and I think I got the camera on me, but I'm looking like that, and I'm forgetting that I have the camera in my hand.
Yeah.
It takes a minute for my body to react to turn that camera.
Yep. It takes a lot of practice to remember that you have a camera in your hand and to turn it around when you hear things immediately rather than turning your head and keeping the camera. It doesn't come naturally. Like you said, you know, automatically you're doing this.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
that's just the way our bodies are set up to do. It's in our nature to act and react when we hear certain things.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
yep,
It's like when you're driving. I praise people that are tunnel vision. If you got tunnel vision, you straight ahead, and there's nothing that's gonna change your mind from looking straight ahead. You are a tunnel vision driver.
yep,
I totally respect those guys because
yeah,
you're not distracted by the littlest thing that can throw your mind off.
yeah. No, absolutely.
But it's crazy how your mind works. Your mind is a machine
Mm-hmm.
that can does a million things.
Oh yeah,
It's how you use it, how you use your machine.
yep,
And just think the way some theorists believes is if we didn't take that half of inch of DNA, whoever did it, out of our bodies when we were so many years back,
Mm-hmm.
that we would be capable to so amazing things,
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
unbelievable things. Our
Mm-hmm.
lives will be expanded. For some reason, they cut our DNA so where we can only live 100 years.
right.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
It's funny because in biblical times, there's numerous reports about people living hundreds of years.
Yeah.
Everybody lived hundreds of years during biblical times.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, who in the hell? Give me back what you took from me because I want to
Something
know.
happened. Something definitely happened
Yeah.
because that changed and during biblical times, and then it seemed to have happened after the Great Flood, after Noah's flood, in the biblical term. That
Right?
after the flood, when man regenerated and populated the earth again, they didn't live to be 200-300 years old anymore. They had very short lifespans.
Yeah.
Yep. I do believe something happened to us. And if they took that chromosome away from me, it's mine. I want it back.
Right.
And I do believe that if I'm missing that chromosome, and if I was given, we would be like gods. Because we'll be able to do everything.
Yeah.
Live long lives.
Yeah.
I've heard people living 800 years
Yep.
and not age. How the hell is that even possible?
I know. There's some, you're right. There's something happened in our DNA over the generations where something changed.
Yeah.
Something was definitely changed.
Something changed. But here's the thing, guys. Certain people have that genetic in them still.
Mm-hmm.
And I call those people gifted because basically that's what they are.
Actually, they're living longer here. Now they have the technology to keep them living longer here than anywhere else. And you don't know why.
Man, I tell you what, dude. We'll come back to that in a minute because that is very interesting. We'll come back to that in a minute. But would you want to live that long?
See, that's the thing.
Would you want to have those capabilities that you're supposed to have? And as I was saying earlier, some people still have those. They're gifted. Some people have the sight to see dead people. Some people have the ability to hear them, to communicate with them. There are so many different things out here that people have. I just think that their DNA didn't get all the way took. I think a proportion of that gene was still left in them, and that's why they were able to do what they do.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Like a genetic throwback to a
Yeah.
different time.
Yeah.
where they still had that particular gene.
It's really
Yeah.
weird
And
because some, like in my family, okay, my mother had that particular sense, and all my children have it. And it's really weird because my brother doesn't have it, but I've got it. Like, why? Like,
yeah,
yeah. And
You
you
know,
feel like, hey, why
it
me?
has a
But
tendency. It has a tendency to skip a generation.
yeah,
yeah.
you feel like, say, why me? Why me? Like, why me? Like that, you know?
I mean, I wouldn't mind having it.
I think you're given
Mm,
what you can deal with, and I think some people who think they would like to have those types of gifts probably wouldn't do very well if they actually had them.
yeah,
It's got you got to be the right type of person, the right type of personality and mindset to be able to cope with the type of things that sensitives or you know
yeah,
those types of people get. They live with the emotional hangovers of
yeah,
paranormal activity for days and weeks after
yeah,
investigations.
yeah. Like I was out for 3 days after one after I did one, and it was really bad. But yeah,
Yeah,
it took me 3 days to get better, to get back on my feet again. I was like,
absolutely.
I'm done. Like, you make dinner, okay? Because I can't do it tonight. Like, yeah, it was really bad. It was really bad. But you know what? I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I helped these people. And yeah, because that spirit was coming after all of us. Like, it came after me. I think it came after Terry too. And it came after my other friends. And I said, no, we're not gonna do this anymore. We gotta finish this. We gotta make sure this thing doesn't come back and bother us anymore. So yeah, you have the, like, when push comes to shove, we don't shove, we push. We give it, we do it right, and we get it done, and we got it done. It was good. It was good, but it was man, it was exhausting.
Well, man, there is so many possibilities
Yeah,
in the paranormal community.
yeah,
Whether we're fighting with each other, we're
mm,
arguing, we're fighting over locations.
yeah,
That's the bad side of it. But there is a
mm,
lot of
yeah,
great things going on in the
yeah.
paranormal community.
But you gotta understand, don't bite off more than you can chew, and don't get
Yes,
into situation, don't go into place where you know you can't handle it, and
absolutely,
you're gonna get your butt bitten off, chewed off, or you're gonna come back with something that you don't want to come back with. So yeah,
absolutely.
you just you're like, I know my strength, I know where I'm gonna poke at, and I know where I'm not gonna poke at, right? So especially in this country, I don't go out very often because I know what it's like. So that's why I help a lot of people in America more than I do here, because I know what I'm dealing with, right?
Right.
And I know what they're like. Here, it's like, nope, not doing that, because it could be dangerous in this country, right?
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know, see the thing about the paranormal community, I think everything that we do can be dangerous.
yeah, but here's a whole different level in there, right? There are a lot spirits. There are uh, a lot more uh submissive than they are here. Here it can be like, yeah, like, no, like, you're in there 1 minute, next minute you're dead. That's what happens here. And you got to be really careful where you go to, because you don't want to poke the bear too much, right? But there you can. I know what I'm dealing with. I know the spirits that's there, and I see it, right? But yeah, here, nope.
But if we don't, I poke the bear all the time.
I know you do.
I am an avid bear poker, but if I don't poke the bear, I don't get the results that I want. It goes
Sometimes
back
you
to
got
that
to
whole
focus.
question, why again?
Hmm.
Yep.
Okay, okay. Suicide Forest. Okay, You only go there to die. You don't go there to investigate, okay? That's one thing that we have to respect. And that if you go there to die, only to die. Okay? That's one thing that I'm gonna tell you. Do you go there? No. Do I take you there? No. Would I take you there? No. Okay?
I'll
That's the
take
thing.
it.
That's the thing that I'm gonna tell you. And a lot of investigators want to go there. I said, no, I'm not gonna take you there. I'm sorry, no.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be responsible for what happens to you if you go in there and you can't come out. What am I going to tell your family? What am I going to tell your wife? What am I going to tell your husband? Right? No, of course not. I'm not gonna take you there.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll take you to the ley lines that go there that are haunted on the same ley lines. Yeah, because Suicide Forest goes underneath a volcano that's a live volcano, right? And it's really charged. It's haunted. Yeah, and so is Mount Fuji. Mount Fuji, the Suicide Forest is underneath Mount Fuji, and Mount Fuji is haunted, and it's really charged as it is, right? And all the roads leading up to that area is all haunted too. But I'll take you to the roads leading up to there, but I'm not going to take you in that forest. Are you? No, I'm not. I'm not that stupid, and I'm not that
Yeah.
crazy because I know what happens.
Right.
Right. Man, all right, Mitch. We got a couple more questions, man, and we're gonna get you out of here, bro. I know you got other things to do on this Saturday than hang out with us. I see that you also have a podcast show.
So you are actually the inspiration for our podcast.
What? Me?
Yeah, you were actually the inspiration for us creating a podcast. Because
Explain. I can't wait to hear this.
So you contacted us and talked about a podcast, about coming on your podcast, and it got my little brain thinking. I was like, you know what? Podcast sounds like a good idea for a paranormal group. We should have a podcast.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, hi Grizzly. Hey, so I was like, yeah, we should have a podcast.
Yeah.
So I went and started researching how to do it all. I knew I could do it because I've ran radio stations in the past. So I knew I could do a podcast. I just had to figure out where to host it and different things and stuff like that. So we got it together and I managed to figure it out and we got to start doing a podcast. And then from the podcast, we launched a radio station. So we have the Solano Paranormal podcast that we do weekly now. We're on it. We're about to do episode 6 of our weekly podcast.
Ooh, that sounds cool.
We've done 5 already. And we launched our radio station, Solano Paranormal Rock and Talk. It's a mixture of rock music and paranormal chat.
Ooh.
Interesting.
So it's a combination of both. Some nice rock music and then some paranormal chat shows in between.
And I had something to do with that?
Yep. You said it all
inspiration?
off. You set it all off, brother.
Oh man. Well, thank you, man.
That's so cool.
That is so cool, man. Because I've had so many people that have followed my footsteps, but didn't succeed in it.
Yeah.
You know, and like I always tell people, man, what you put in is what you get out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And you know what? The one that comes out of it are the ones that stick with it in the end, right?
And trust me, dude, you're not gonna have. See, people think when they have a podcast, they automatically think they're gonna have 5,000 people watching them.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
You know? And it doesn't. It takes years.
Yeah.
For that to happen, or you build up one hell of an audience. That means you must have did something to get that audience up. Something must have went viral, and and then you got all these views and followers. But the average podcaster, such as myself, dude, I'll be lucky to get maybe 10, 15 people watching the show.
Yeah.
And that's cool with me because A lot of people don't have time to watch the shows, so what they'll do is they'll see the reruns
Yep.
on your social media and they'll watch it like that.
Yep.
And I'm cool with that. I love a view. Just hit view.
There's a lot of people that watch the views afterwards, and
Absolutely.
that's where you get your numbers. That's where you get your numbers from, not
Yeah.
from watching it, but after the podcast is over, they watch afterwards, and that's where your numbers come up.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So if I can just plug real fast before we go, I want to plug our website, solanoparanormal.com is our main website that people can go to and join in all the discussions about the paranormal. If you want to listen to our radio station, you can go to solanoparanormalradio.com. And that'll take you straight to our radio website, and you'll be able to tune into our radio station live.
Well, that's cool. That is cool, dude, that you guys have started doing that.
Yeah.
Man. Hey, I'm speechless. For the first time, I'm speechless. I don't know what to say.
It's all on you. If it works out, it's on you. If it doesn't work out, I'm blaming you too.
Oh.
It's okay. You can make Terry eat your haggis, and it'll be okay.
Well, you know what? I think you're going to be successful because, man, you are in a great location where people will really, react to you and come to you. But you have to be consistent with it. That's the only thing. You got to be consistent.
You got to work. You got to share, and you got to do everything else on top of that, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and I can honestly say my work starts Monday. The beginning of the week is when I'm getting ready to advertise for the guests that are coming on the following week.
Right.
Yep.
And it's hard. Trust me, it takes time, but hopefully by Wednesday, I've reached out to everybody. I confirmed to everybody that that the show is on. Then Thursday, Friday, I'll send links out to everybody to make sure everybody got their links.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, I does the advertising.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah, for sure. It's a passion. It's a passion. You've got to have a lot of passion for it, for what you do.
And you got to work really hard at it too. It gets busy, and sometimes it gets monotonous, right, Terry?
Yeah. And you know what? And I listen to podcasts while I'm driving. I listen to podcasts while I'm working.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sometimes it can be live.
Yeah.
So Dark Treehouse, dude, I'm always listening to podcasts live.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting to try to get my podcast on the really big networks, which are iHeartRadio and some of those other streaming shows. Those platforms that I'm able to get onto.
Yeah.
Maybe because I'm not tech savvy yet. But once I get, able to get on iHeart, and I forgot that other podcast radio show that does it. Dude, I think the sky's the limit for me.
Yeah. Absolutely. You've got a good format, and like you said, you put the work in, put the effort in, it all comes good in the end. Sometimes you just have to be really lucky about getting the right viewer at the right time who is an influencer, and they post something about your radio show or your podcast show, and the next minute you've gone viral.
Yeah. And and the one thing about me is, and I think Irene can contest to it, is that I'm an open book. I just don't talk about, paranormal. I mean, I talk about paranormal, but because paranormal is so broad.
Yeah.
That there's different platforms of it.
Yeah.
So you could talk about investigating spirits, but let's take it a little bit farther. let's talk about, witches. Let's talk about clairvoyance and people like that, people that are gifted. There are so many different avenues you can go down.
Yeah.
Witches, UFOs, there are so many different. I never try to just focus on one thing.
No,
You got
absolutely.
cryptids, you got incubus, you got succubus, you've got oh, you got everything involved. You have the Native American. You've got those. You got everything included. And it's like a hodgepodge of everything in one bag. And like, how do you differentiate them? How do you separate them? What's what? Where goes where? And it's so interesting that you can't spend 1 hour talking about it. You have to spend a
Yeah,
couple hours talking about it because there's
yeah.
so
You
many
know,
avenues it goes
yeah,
down to.
right.
Yeah,
And I even opened up a podcast talking about the dark side of paranormal investigating. A
yeah,
lot of people don't talk about that.
Yeah.
no,
The negative side of it.
yeah,
And it's only for an hour, and I really need to start that back up.
Yeah.
It's really, and it's only for an hour, but it gives people an opportunity to call in. It's pretty much what you do, to call in, and whether I agree or disagree
yeah,
with what they're saying, I do. I try to help them out with the questions or how they feel at that particular moment about
yeah,
what's going on in their lives.
yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
it's all about, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Positivity.
I
You,
like the freaky side of it. I like the freaky side of it.
you have to be positive with
Yeah.
it. No ifs and buts about it.
No.
Absolutely. I agree.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But hey, Mitch, one more question. I'm gonna get you out of here.
All right, brother.
Where would you like to go on your paranormal bucket list? Anywhere in the world, but you can't go back
Anywhere
to
in the
Scotland.
world. Oh, can't go back to Scotland. Anywhere in the world. Oh my God. I think I would love to do an investigation all over. And it wouldn't necessarily be a ghost investigation, but always wanted to fly around the Bermuda Triangle and investigate the Bermuda Triangle with, and try and find some anomalies and fly through it and stuff like that. I've always
Yeah.
found the Bermuda Triangle fascinating. The fact that so many aircraft have disappeared, other aircraft have reported portals in the sky trying to suck them in. There's been so many different reports of different types of sightings, alien sightings.
Yeah.
The Bermuda Triangle itself just begs to be explained for somebody to come along and to finally be able to explain what's going on. So I think my bucket list would be to explore the Bermuda Triangle.
It would be
That's
very
cool.
interesting. It would be very. If I can breathe on the water, do you know what I would find over there? All sorts of weird temples and things that nobody have discovered yet.
Yep.
What is the dude? Can you imagine walking on the Bethany road?
Oh man.
Can you imagine walking on that road, dude?
No. You can't. It's beyond comprehension.
Yeah, that would be that would be amazing.
Yeah.
If I can breathe on the water, I would definitely go to the Bermuda Triangle, and I would tell myself I am gonna walk on the Bethany Road.
Yeah, there's so many, like you said, temples and stuff like that, and cities that have now been swallowed and reclaimed by the ocean that used to exist above land hundreds and thousands of years ago. We think we're the first civilization on this planet.
No,
we're not the first civilization on this planet. There's been many civilizations on this planet, and they've all came to their own demise, their own end in some way.
Yeah.
Just like we will eventually.
Yep, we will eventually. Either we're going to have to shoot for the stars or face annihilation.
Yep.
Don't know which one it's going to be.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But who's to say, man? I'm ready to go home.
Yep. E.T. call home.
I can't. Either way, man, I'm going home. I'm going back to the beginning of civilization, which I know it's not from this planet.
Right.
Or I'm going to go back to my spiritual self and hang out with all my loved ones.
Yep.
And raise hell. Because that's my goal.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
I am going to raise nothing but hell. So, Irene, you can tell them I'm coming.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, I already did that. I already said that. Oh, my gosh. Oh, no.
All right, Mitch. Yeah, tell the world how to get a hold of you, brother.
All right. You can get a hold of me through my email address. You can get a hold of me, admin@solanoparanormal.com, or you can come to our website, solanoparanormal.com, and you can contact us through there. All my contact information, cell phone number, even my home address is on there, because like you, Terry, I am an open book, and I don't hide who I am. I want people to contact me. I want people to come to me with their stories. If you're on the West Coast or the center of the country or even the East Coast, and you want to come to Solano Paranormal and tell us your stories, come to solanoparanormal.com, and you can post your heart away, tell us all your paranormal events and stuff. And we've got a whole community of people there that will interact with you and join in the discussion.
Well, there you go, guys. If you're ever in the Northern California area, or if you're just in California, period, and you're looking for somewhere to investigate or someone just to hang out with, this guy is your man.
Terry,
I'm pretty sure he will show you guys
Terry,
a great
you should tell
time.
him about tomorrow. Terry, you should tell him about tomorrow's guest.
Oh, tomorrow's? Yeah, I'll get with that in a minute. So guys, feel free to check him out, and man, make sure you guys go to his page and hit that like, share, subscribe. You know, show nothing but support for what this gentleman got going on. Hey, but like he said, I'm the one that threw that idea in his head to be to start doing his own thing. So hey, I wish him nothing but success.
Yeah.
With you. And hopefully one day I'll get to be on the podcast.
Absolutely. I was going to say that before we checked off. I was going to hand you the invite live on your podcast to come along on our podcast or our radio show. And,
I would love to.
Yeah, okay. I'll get with you after this, and we'll hook it up.
I would love to. I love classic rock, and I love talking paranormal.
Perfect. Sounds like a day.
I think it's a perfect fit for me. So with that being said, guys, tomorrow show, dude. Let's see here.
David Oman.
Yes, Mr. David Oman. Hey, he's from California. No, he's not from Cali.
He is.
He's from California too. Hey, I might as well get me a hotel and just stay in Cali for the night.
I know.
Well,
I got Mr. David Oman tomorrow night.
He has a house that's not too far away from Sharon Tate's house. So yeah, it's gonna be one, and his house is really haunted too. So
oh wow.
So please, guys, check out that show tomorrow, 5 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So please, another great show, man. Miss, thank you for having me on, brother. I really appreciate it. Great conversation as always. Man, if anybody tell you how the podcast went, you tell them it was a great one.
Yeah,
absolutely.
One for the ages.
I'm older than you.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No.
Oh my gosh.
No. Hey, how can you be older than me? I was born in 1912.
No, you're not.
Born in 1912. Died. Died. For some reason, I died in the right before World War II, and was born again 1971.
You're the same year as me.
So I'm a lot older than what people think I am.
Yep, you're exactly the same age as me then.
You over 200 years old too?
Yep.
I'm a dinosaur.
Oh, you're just a baby compared to us.
You're a dinosaur. I'm a dinosaur.
All right, guys. Hey,
All right.
man. Appreciate you guys coming on, man. And nothing but blessings for you, Mitch.
You too.
Like I say, guys, please go over to his channel, hit him up. See, if you guys are in California. But remember, guys, share. Let's share this content. Let's get it out, and let's show the world on what we really talk about on this podcast.
Yeah.
I think you got a couple of hip individuals, man, that are here trying to show the world and tell the world what's going on in the paranormal community. So, hey, you guys have a blessed day, and I will talk to you soon. Peace. Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.